So welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Unfortunately, the microphone didn't record during this this recording, so we have to have a bit of post commentary. As you see there, my thrust to weight ratio is good, but I released the launch clamps without the engines running, so I dropped. Luckily, the thrust picked up just in time. Anyway, we are going to Minmus. We are going to Minmus with a probe absolutely jam-packed full of science, and we're just going to do a flyby. Nothing special, just a flyby. We got a contract for that, and hopefully we will manage to do a low pass as well as a high pass over it, and then come back. So this is the launch side of things, which you've seen a few times before. So I'll skip it for you, so there's no commentary. So the next bit I'm going to show you in a bit of fast forward mode. So we're up with this rocket up in just about to start our circularization burn, which you've just done. And now we're going to sort out our inclination with Minmus, just setting the right target. There we go. We're going to make sure that we are on the right plane to be able to make an intersection with Minmus. Once I'm happy with that, we come around. It's very slow to turn around. Had to use a little bit of engine to turn because we've only got the very small reaction wheels that are built onto the prototype. There we go. Inclination is set. Now we're going to come out. I just wanted to really just skim the edge of the sphere of influence of Minmus. Unfortunately, Minmus has got a very, very small area of influence because it's very small. Gravity is very low. I ended up going, oh, what the hell? Let's just loop around the back of it and come back. That way, we should be able to get a low pass data as well. So we've got all the science packed into the top of that spaceship, and a couple of mystery goos, a couple of science juniors, that sort of thing. So skip ahead a little bit. We're just coming in. Did do a mid-course correction just to get a little bit of a closer pass. Here we are, just about skimming through. So we're now in low orbit. So we do all the science we can, which we will send some of it back. Contracts have been completed there to show that we have actually done a flyby. That's all you need to do. Just get into the sphere of influence, and it counts. Sending back the data when for the 100% stuff and keeping the rest. At this point, I'm just trying to think about what I'm going to do about a return to Kerbin. I want to get the low pass, but it's tricky to be able to get the low pass and a half decent return trajectory back to Kerbin without having to use up too much delta V. I think I got plenty, but just wanted to make sure. Lots of check-in, recheck-in, check-in, recheck-in. And in the end, I think on this one I give up anyway. Get a little bit closer, I think, was probably the thought. Gosh, did do a lot of checking, didn't I? Good job we're not playing this through in real time. It'd be boring, wouldn't it? Anyway, so I just wanted to make sure, as I said, that I wasn't throwing myself out miles out into space. Make sure I had enough delta V to be able to get safely back. The experiments, I'm doing experiments as I get into the new sphere of influence. Here I'm just trying to make sure I get the low pass. Just trying to work out what the low pass actually was for this one. Turns out that it's 30,000 meters, 30 kilometers off the surface of Minmus. So I'm doing slight increases in the burn just to bring it down. Checking with Science X as soon as I hit that biome or hit the low overpass area. Again, I'll be sending back this data. I haven't got an awful lot of electrical charge. I've got 2 solar panels, so I had to keep making sure that I'm pointing my solar panels to the sun so that I can generate the electricity required. And as we come near the surface, what we're about 90,000 meters up there. 60,000, 50,000, 40,000, 30,000. There goes the science, 30,000. Grab all the science. Now at this point, I was getting a little bit worried. I sending back the data that I could, but my my electrical charge had dropped way down to quite worryingly low levels. At this point, though, I'm just adjusting now, trying to do a burn to get me to a decent point of return. Earlier you do these things, the better for delta V usually. Again, still trying to get my solar panel pointed to the sun, because I am losing charge. I don't know why I'm losing charge at this point. I got a solar panel pointed directly at the sun, but something is using up electricity, and I never worked out what it was. I closed all the experiments up, which I'm about to do here. Yep, there we go, closing them all up, trying to make sure I shut them down so I wasn't using up charge, because if you obviously run out of electrical charge with a probe, you're done for. Did a quick burn to get me a little bit nearer. Didn't get me quite as near as I wanted. I was probably paying too much attention to electrical charge and did it at the wrong time. Back round we come to the turning off all these experiments, trying to stop that electrical leak, whatever's using up all that electrical charge, turning so that solar panel is pointing directly at the sun. And we're heading back now. We're on our way home. Probe is full of science. Just seeing if there's any more that I could get, but no, that was it. I was able to actually find out or turn everything off and was able to then get fully charged up. So I was able to send some data back in the hopes I could grab some more, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. I was outside of the biome areas by then. So now we're just adjusting our burn to get us a good return altitude to aerobrake ourselves into Kerbin itself. And I've still got loads of gas left, loads of delta V available. So I think about what I'm going to spend it on. I decided to use it to lower my apoapsis because we're coming from a long way out. Our periapsis will have a lot of speed because the way it kind of works is the speed at the periapsis is has to be enough to throw you out all the way to your apoapsis, where you practically go down to 0 and then come back in again. So what I'm burning now is somewhere between radial and retrograde. About halfway between the two, moving towards each and to try and get my apoapsis to come in. You see it coming in there now. So that's effectively lowering my speed at my periapsis because it doesn't need so much speed to throw it out out to the apoapsis. So as the apoapsis comes down, it obviously means that speed at the periapsis will be less, which will make for aerobraking down into Kerbin a lot easier. So just trying to get the right position between the two so that I don't increase or decrease my periapsis too much, because I don't want to come in too steeply. Equally, I don't want to skip through the atmosphere and go back out again. Wouldn't be the end of the world, but better if we didn't. And then we can dispose of that bit of rocket there, and we're coming in now. at 300 odd thousand meters up. We're going to come down on the dark side, which means I have to keep an eye on the amount of electrical charge that I have. Here we go through the re-entry, picking up a lot of heat effects there. Obviously less than we would have had. That was something exploding, made me jump, but it was just a piece of debris, so no problems there at all. So we're in 30 odd thousand kilometers, 30 odd thousand meters now. The air is getting thicker, the speed is being bled off, and we're looking where we might spot our landing. I was hoping we were going to make a bit of landfall there, so we could land, maybe pick up a few other bits of science from what we didn't have already, but unfortunately we just fell short. Got down to a speed where the parachutes would work, let it go for a little bit longer, still bleeding off speed as we go, and then let the parachutes go. Obviously reducing our speed, and then when we got to about 1,000 meters off the surface, they opened fully, and we got down to about 4 meters per second vertical speed. And when we land, we could do one extra bit of science. Just coming up here. And there it is. Grabbing us like an extra 1.8. All counts. It's 1.8 extra science we didn't have before. And yeah, so we had a quick look. We got a bunch of money back for the stuff. We got like 300 odd science or something, and then I realised there's still some debris. Turned out to be the launch clamps, and we recovered those and tidied those up. We were able to complete the science for this stage, which is some more fairings we got, and launch and docking clamps, and a few other bits and pieces. And we had another look to see what we could do contract-wise. Looks like we might be going back to Minmus to do an orbit of Minmus this time, because we got some collect data from around Minmus and orbit it. So that looks like the one, because we obviously need some more money to upgrade our research and development facilities so that we can then start using some of our science on the next thing. So thank you very much for watching. Sorry the recording is a bit different this time, but stay tuned for next time. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please consider giving me a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to hear about when I do some more videos. In the meantime, if you want to click on one of the other videos that I've done on a different game, then these are my latest ones. Please go ahead. Or if you click on the next video in this series, that'll take you directly to the next video in this series if I've done it and uploaded it. Thanks for watching.